welcome everybody to the SDR Triple Option Podcast, a special video edition. As hey, it's never too early to talk football. We got the NFL draft going on, and we just got the release here of schedules for you guys for football this coming year. First of all, we've got a new format for the state in terms of class alignment. 5 classes this year. Is that correct? 5 classes?
5 classes. Well, there's 5 classes plus
8-man.
Yeah. Well, there's A, 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, 5A,
and then 8-man. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't. Is there A and 1A? I'm not sure. Do they combine those? I can't remember. But
anyway,
yeah.
There's a new class.
5A. Yeah.
5A class, and we're in 4A now. The Spencer Tigers. Coach Jim Tighe here. So, talk a little bit about that first before we get into the schedule. How did you feel about the idea of the new alignment, and when they suggested it? I know it was a talking point for a while, and they moved on it.
I have no problem with it. I don't really have a feeling one way or the other. It's when we say we're in 4A, we're not in. People go, "Oh, you guys." I was talking to a former player the other day in the grocery store, and he was surprised we went 4A, but I had to explain to him, well, we're still not the biggest class. Yeah. So the biggest schools, the West Des Moines Valleys and the Iowa City West, and all those are 5A. But some of the smaller, what had been 4A schools, are coming down to 3A. Or I'm sorry, are staying 4A, and then the bigger 3A, which we are going up. So, a Fort Dodge is now a 4A with us, and I'm trying to think of some other schools.
There's a few bigger schools, Waverly, Show Rock, and some of those.
No, well, Waverly they were in our class.
Were they before?
Des Moines Hoover had been 3A, so they're 4A. I was trying to think if
Council Bluffs TJ, they stayed at 4A, it looks like.
Yeah. What about Indianola? Is Indianola?
They were 3A last year.
I think they were 4A, but they might be 3A.
So where do we fall? Are we at one of the smaller 4A schools?
I think we're kind of in the middle, I believe. Yeah.
Okay, because I know in the past, as far as 3A goes, we were one of the. Looks like we were one of the larger 3As.
Yeah. But there's not a ton of 4A schools that came down. Yeah. So some of the ones I thought might, but didn't, is like Urbandale would be they'd be a handful. They've got several Division I players, and they just missed going 4A. But see, they're kind of landlocked in Des Moines, so their enrollment doesn't go up a whole lot.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, go ahead, TJ.
Well, and Coach, I guess the goal this year is be the top third of the district. That gets us into the tournament. That's kind of the goal.
Yep. You want to be in the top 2. There is a chance you can still get in if you aren't. Because they're taking some out large.
RPI,
teams.
hoorah!
Yeah, and that's where the RPI comes in. But it's kind of nice that the RPI does not determine everything. And I wasn't crazy about the RPI, but it really helped us, I think, in 2018, but really hurt us the next year. So
talk a little bit about the schedule this year. We talked about Fort Dodge a little bit. That is now on the on the docket.
Definitely, there's some new teams on there that we've never played since I've been here, and I don't think even in my knowledge ever in in Spencer. But we open up going up to Spirit Lake the first game, and that's always a tremendous challenge, and they've kind of had our number, especially up there, so that's going to be a great challenge. And so that's the first. There's 4 non-district games, so that's our first one. Then we come home and we play Mason City, which is it's another 4A school, and I thought they might be in our district, but then when I looked at the map, I realized they had to almost go that other way with Decorah and Waverly to have enough teams. So we put them on our list because I thought it'd be nice to have another 4A team once we found out our district. So we got Mason City, and then we go on the road to Heelan, who is 3A, so they're not in our district for the first time in a long time, and then we come home for
Sioux Center.
Sioux Center, right? Not Sioux Central, but Sioux Center. And Sioux Center is a team we've never played, to my knowledge, and they are a 2A. No, they're 3A. They're 3A.
I think they had been a 2A.
Yeah, they're in with like Lamar's. No, I'm sorry. They're in with like Sergeant Bluff and Boyd and Rock Valley. Right. So those are our 4 non-district games, and so we have 2 home, 2 away, and they go every other week. So that's pretty well, balanced out. Then our first district game is at Denison. And so they have a real nice facility. They've really made a lot of upgrades in the last 4 or 5 years.
They have a nice defense. They can't stop the triple. I'm a fan of that.
We hope it stays that way.
Yeah, yes, we
do. We don't know from year to year how that'll all change. And they'll have a new coach. And I don't know if they've hired a new coach yet. I think they're in the process. So we don't know about what they'll be running on offense or defense right now. Then we go on the road a second week in a row to Fort Dodge, and we get to go to play in Dodger Stadium, which I grew up in Webster City, and Dodger Stadium was kind of a big deal. I remember going over to watch Iowa Central play as a kid, and St. Ed's also has played in Dodger Stadium. So when I was a freshman, we played, believe it or not, St. Ed's was in 3A back then, and we played them in a playoff game. And so Fort Dodge Senior High, though, always, was a much larger school. We never played Fort Dodge Senior High. So we play Senior High there, and that should be a great atmosphere. It should be a big crowd. I think they draw a lot of people just because of the size of the town. There's a lot of interest in high school athletics there.
We finish off with 3 home games.
Yeah, that's
playoff push. That'll be nice.
Yeah,
Pack the Dale. That'll be
Webster City will be our first home game in that 3 games, and that'll be homecoming. And then we have Lamar's here, and then Storm Lake here. Of course, next year we'll have to go on the road for those 3. But I read somewhere Webster City has their last 3 games on the road, and it's to us, Lamar's, and it must be Storm Lake, but they have
probably
like
in
600.
Reverse order, yeah.
They have 650 miles.
They should maybe think about getting some hotel rooms around here.
They're going to be in a bus for like 10 and a half hours. But then again, they had 8 home games last year.
Yeah,
so
Webster City, they got to replace most of their backfield, at least their quarterback and their best running back.
Yeah, I think their quarterback is maybe back. I think he is. Yeah. Well, it depends
on.
I think they maybe played more than one last year.
Oh, so they played another one.
Yeah.
Okay. Coach, who are your top 7 choices for non-district? If you can get into it, I'm always interested by that.
Well, we had an agreement with Spirit Lake, and Sioux Center actually contacted us, and we said, yeah, that'd be great. So those 2 we were pretty confident because the state says they can't guarantee it, but they can strongly say that you're going to probably get your top 2 if that matches those 2 schools. Then we also had Esterville. We were kind of looking at keeping it somewhat close in conference schools, and we know Esterville was going to be pretty good this year.
Program on the rise.
Yeah.
That's a good team.
And they have some good athletes back, and they put us as number 3. But so I thought they might be on there, but it went a different direction than that. And then the rest, we couldn't find really anybody that would actually agree to put us down. So then you kind of put it, and I don't know, I can't remember for sure the order of this, but we did put Heelan on there. We put Mason City. And I cannot remember all the other teams we put on there. Those 2 I know we put on. There was a total of 7, so we might have put maybe Sheldon, I'm not sure. Clear Lake, I think we put on there to go that other direction a little bit. And I cannot recall, but we may have put Boone or Carroll, but I'm not sure. We talked about that, so that's kind of.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're going to have a few replacement faces in there next year.
Yeah.
It's been the last couple of years we've had to stick some new folks in there to replace some of the graduating seniors.
Yeah.
Next year will be no exception.
No.
I mean, obviously you've got Carter back,
Yeah.
who will be a team leader for you, and that just is a key.
Well, it'll be his 4th year of starting.
Yeah. So I mean,
that doesn't happen.
That's great
ever.
leadership. Yeah, but then there's going to be some new kids that are going to have to step up and make some major contributions from quarterback to everything else. How are you feeling early on? I mean, obviously you haven't had time to really do anything yet with them, but
well, it is early.
Coming.
It's early, but you're starting to kind of see things kind of round into place, and it seems like just yesterday we were standing over there having this discussion a year ago, and at the same time, I knew very little about what to expect with that team, and I would say kind of in the same boat this year, but we have some solid elements to build around from guys that have experience, and I've got a lot of confidence in some of the guys that maybe didn't start last year but still got in the games and played a lot. And if you look in our backfield, we have a quarterback to replace, but we have 3 possibilities in my mind. How that all shakes out, we'll see. But whoever ends up being the quarterback will be very solid. I'm not worried about that. It's a matter of getting everybody where they can maximize our
then you
talent
got
on the field.
A strong JV team coming up that had a really solid year last year.
Yeah, they had they got a lot of playing time, a lot of those guys, at the JV level. So, the backfield, you got Mikey Jordan played a lot last year, and I'm really, Cadence Hoffmeyer rotated in there. You got Teron Green, who, and that's just throwing out a handful.
There's a particular kid that might compete for playing time at the B-Back too. You live with him, you cook him meals all the time.
Oh yeah. He's got to work on his speed, but keep competing. And but
Coach, all this off the subject. How was state wrestling? Did you like going down there? Was that a good experience?
Yeah, it was a good experience. I enjoyed the wrestling season a lot. It was fun to I kind of use that time of the year to, I watch football, but I kind of put Tiger football, aside for a little. I think it's good to put it on the shelf a little bit and go to wrestling meets, and that's fun. And they had a good night at conference. It was unfortunate we lost the team by 2 points. But we had 6 champions, I think, and then districts was a solid day, and so it's a fun experience.
You could have bragged about your son a little bit. I was trying to tee it up for you.
Yeah.
Well, he had a great year. He did. They all did. So, real quick, how's the weight room participation been
Pretty
in the
good.
off-season?
Pretty good. I focus on the out-of-season kids, and I do focus on the in-season kids. Like track comes in, and so we're coaching those kids too. Coach Berkey designs the programs, and because of the budget hasn't been as good, because we didn't have as much revenue coming in. We haven't had him in as much, but he does come in. He comes mostly on the mornings. But the attendance has been getting better and better, and I really like the chorus juniors and seniors to be, as I call them, that are coming in the mornings and after school. I mean, they're kind of they treat each other well, but they cheer each other on if they have a heavy set of squad or bench, and that's good to see, and build in that camaraderie. That's what a lot of people don't understand is, you can lift the variety of places around town, but you can't build that team camaraderie like we have, and we have just outstanding facility here. So,
and as we saw last year, chemistry is important.
It is. That group
team.
last year really did have good chemistry, and they respected each other, and
they didn't care who scored or who it was. They didn't
a lot
care
of
who got the
unselfishness.
glory. It was it was just let's get it done.
I saw a lot of those kids working out after the season, working out together. You can just tell they were really good friends. And
Yep. So I'm pretty pleased with the off season right now, and we got about a month left until summer, and then that's when we can kind of start working with them and working with the quarterbacks and backs a little bit, and then do our speed agility, and it's that fine balance between you want to get as much ahead of things, but you also want them fresh when you get to the season. You don't want them sick of football. You want them hungry for the season. So there's that. That's always a challenge.
You say it's a ways out, but we're almost to May. I mean, we'll be looking
fast.
at the field painted.
It always goes very, very
time.
fast. It goes so fast once you get to this point, because May goes fast because you get graduate. The seniors, we're 3 weeks away from 3 weeks from today is the last day of school. So the seniors have 2 weeks left, and then you have state track, and you come back, and then the state soccer kind of goes on in that first week of June, or baseball's in full swing by then, and then it really flies.
Yeah, and then it's time to start getting ready for camp, and the quarterback workouts in the morning.
Yeah. This year we have something new. I don't know if you've heard, but the state has put this family they call it a family. I call it like a dead week where you
like a moratorium on
so that last week of July we cannot have any. I can't coach them in the weight room. I can't have the quarterbacks, and that goes for every sport, and that's everybody in the state. And it's kind of encouraged, and that's when the families take vacations and that kind of thing, and get away. So
tourism week.
Yeah.
So Randy, book a vacation for the end of July. Case might like that. Just throw that out there. Coach Tighe.
He's gonna be busy with
now we're moving on to Gabe now.
That's right. I forgot. My bad, dude. I apologize for that. But
Coach, thanks for joining us today. It's awesome talking a little football here in the middle of May.
I have one more thing, Coach. This is the most pressing question. Aaron Rodgers is pissed off and wants out of Green Bay. Your thoughts?
I'm all for it. Well, there it is. I'm all for him retiring and doing the Jeopardy. Maybe he needs to be on Wheel of Fortune too or something. I don't know, but keep him
take Vanna's spot.
Yeah.
Something.
He's
kind of a diva.
Because if he goes to the 49ers, that's going to cause headaches for the Vikings just later at a different point.
No, he goes to the Jets for 2 years, and then we welcome him into Minnesota, just like we did with Brett
Favre. Yeah.
Well, there you go. Wishful thinking, guys.
Well, a couple of Vikings fans. We had to talk about Aaron Rodgers.
My son is my younger son is a big Packer fan. So when we watched the draft last night, Cal and I were pretty brutal to him the entire night.
Keep waiting for that trade to drop. It never happened. So. Well, hey, thanks for taking the time to come out and visit with us a little about football here as we round out April and get ready for May to blow in with the high speed. We'll be talking football here in the fall before we know it.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Appreciate it. Always good to visit with you.
Okay.
We'll see you next time on the SDR Triple Option Podcast.